Hi, and welcome everyone to Ethereal Encounters Unveiled. Today we are broadcasting live on the United Public Radio Network and the UFO Paranormal Radio Network, 105.3 on the Gulf Coast and 107.7 FM in beautiful New Orleans.
The night has come, it's cold and losing my control. Your light is gone, and lonely darkness fill my soul. I wish that you could save me from my isolation. It's way too complicated. Let's start this conversation. Let's start this conversation. We got no relation.
Welcome to Don't Whistle at Night podcast, where Navajo legends echo in the shadows. Darren and Dawn will guide you through the sacred fire of native storytelling, where the old stories breathe, the unknown walks among us, and voices, long hidden, rise to be heard. And remember, don't whistle at night.
Have you ever felt you weren't alone? Something in the shadows, a light in the sky, a creature no one believes you saw? Welcome to Paranormal Heart Podcast, where ghosts, cryptids, UFOs, aliens, and the unknown aren't just stories. They're real encounters. Join me, Kat Ward, every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern on the United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM, New Orleans, and 105.3 the Gulf Coast. UPRNTalkRadio.com, YouTube, and wherever you find your favorite podcast. Paranormal Heart Podcast. Paranormal talk from the heart and soul.
You're listening to UFO Undercover with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
I had enough.
Well, you drove out there into the middle of nowhere and had some sort of loud verbal display challenging ET in general out in the middle of nowhere?
That's what I was doing. I actually had a pistol in my hand at the time. I was really ticked off. When I was having this fit, I was waving the gun in the air, okay, and I had this fit. And at this moment, I said, okay.
He was a Louisiana man named Montaldo. Folks around called him Six Gun Joe. Worked with ICAR, don't you know? Investigating UFOs. Out for a drive with a gal one night, they stopped to check out the reporting site. When an alien lit right there on the ground, he commenced to throwing his weight around. Now, old Six Gun didn't take too kindly to that kind of thing, especially without Vaseline or anything like that, Seriously. Well, Six Gun looked that critter right in the eye and said, "Any last wish before you die?" Yo, reached for his gun, quick as a twitch, and said, "Fill your claw, you son of a bitch." Now a legend spread across the land about this pistol-waving man. The But if you're from space or from Earth below, you don't give no lip to Six Gun Joe.
Welcome everyone to UFO Undercover. Really hope everyone's having a great morning, great evening, great afternoon, great wee hours of the morning wherever you are on our big beautiful blue planet. I know for some of y'all it's Thursday, and it's getting kind of late on Thursdays for some of y'all. So to all our friends on the other side of the world, on the bottom of the world, I hope y'all all having a good day, or all actually a good Thursday for you, for our friends in New Zealand and Australia. You know, Jay moved to Australia, in case y'all didn't know this, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, I just haven't acquired the accent yet, but
Yes,
it's coming.
give him a couple of years, man. Last time I talked to Jim
Yeah.
Sparks, he sounded like an Aussie, man.
Yeah, I mean, it took me, at least 6 years to get my Georgia accent, and then it took me another 6 years when I moved up here back to Maryland, Pennsylvania to get rid of it.
See, I wish I was like that, man. If I'm in a group of people, you might as well call me Kamala Harris. My accent just switch.
Mine will too. Yeah.
It got so freaking bad when I left the Navy and I was traveling around the country and stuff. People thought I was from England. I'm like, what? And I said, you got to be shitting me, right? And they're like, no, where are you from? I said, from Nolans. No way, you're from Nolans, man. You don't have that accent. Well, yeah, when I joined boot camp, I did have that accent. When I got out of boot camp, I hold a different accent. And I was hanging out with some Bostonians, and Pete was a Hilton. So all his family is really, really snotty. And not to me, they were always really nice. I got to say that. I shouldn't, but they were really snotty family. And his sisters, which are very famous, were like this tall. And that ain't even the ones that are really famous. But I told him, I said, dude, you're not a Hilton. You're so full of shit. He said, Joe. He said, just watch. So we get out of boot camp. We're on leave for boot camp. I mean, it's like the first day out. He said, come on. He said, we're going to go stay at the hotel. It's all taken care of. I'm like, whatever, dude. I said, just drop it. It's cool. I said, it's all right. I said, I like you, dude. You're good, dude. So we get to the hotel. He walks up and whispers something to the guy, saying, he said, yes, everything's ready. And we had like 16 guys with us, I think. Dude. So we get upstairs. We got the top half of the building. This is an incorporated suite that can be made into like mini apartments, but they had it all open because we were there. I think it was 21 bedrooms, 11 bathrooms. They had a jacuzzi and jacuzzi tubs in it. This thing, views. They even had a thing that you could push out and it would push you and hang you out over the ocean. I was like, wow, what the hell?
What? Like a swing?
No, it was like I don't know how to describe it. So it was like a board that slid out. You got in it. It was like one of those hanging chair things, like a leather type thing. I'm sure it was something stronger. And it just you cranked yourself out there, and you'd be way out there. You're so far out, it felt like it was going to fall, but I guess it was made out of steel. And you crank yourself back in. I'm always thinking, man, why did you get stuck out here? Because I mean, first off, ladies and gentlemen, we're fresh out of boot camp. This is 80 guys. None of us has seen a real woman in 10 or 12 weeks, probably for most people.
Are you implying that Navy women aren't real?
Oh, no, it's not that. There's some hotties, but they just went around. Matter of fact, the first woman we got to see, we all had gotten in trouble for something. And it was 220 guys out on the tarmac doing push-ups. And, we had to do 500 of them all together, and they do them in breaks. You do 100, and you break. You do 100, and you break. You do 50, you break. You do 50, you break till you're done. And I don't even remember what it was. It was we didn't break cadence crossing a bridge. That's what it was. So in case you didn't know this, ladies and gentlemen, if you're marching in step and you're going over a bridge, you can make the bridge collapse. Oh, yes. I thought it was bullshit. Well, we didn't break cadence one day. The bridge was doing this. It's a concrete bridge. And this is 80 guys. That's all it took to make that bridge start swaying like that. I was like, now, it wasn't a real huge bridge, but I'd say maybe 300 yards or so. But still, I was like, well, Commander come unglued on us. But anyway, there's a bunch of us out there that night doing it. So we're out there doing our thing, la, 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 la. And here comes this lieutenant. Beautiful, blonde, gorgeous woman, great figure. Now remember, we're 5 weeks in at this point. And everybody's kind of like, wow, look at this. And she's wearing a skirt. And then she decides she's going to walk in between the guys on the tarmac. So the commander looks over at us. He said it is 5 push-ups for each one of you that look up. So I stuck my left hand up and I said, sir. He's like, yes, recruit. I said, so what you're telling me is we're going to be here till tomorrow, right? And this chick just bust out laughing. She just loses it. I said, so I got to be honest. If she walks over my head, I'm going to have to look. He said, what are you, a pervert? So I looked over at the guy. I said, what do you think? He said, I'm going to have to look. He looked over at the guy. So he just went across the whole field. And she's laughing her ass off. She said, well, I'll make it better for y'all. For everybody who looks up, you get 1 J and a brig and a chit pulled. I was like, uh-oh, now we're serious. I said, I don't know. I said, but it still might be worth it.
Yeah.
Anyway, it added about 250 push-ups to the group, because there was no way nobody was going to look up. She never came on our side, the thing, so it was cool for us. We didn't get it, but we still had to do push-ups with everybody else. It doesn't matter when you're in a group like that. The whole group suffers for anybody who screws up. So
yeah, that's the example they use in Stanley Kubrick's Full Metal Jacket. Private Pile is
that effed up
is
movie.
bad. Yeah, it's a messed up story, but that's the way it was back then. I mean, people might say, "Oh, it's horrible, it's a terrible thing." Well, they're sending these children out to wars sometimes to get killed and or to kill, and if they don't do these kinds of things to them, they're not going to be able to survive. They wouldn't make day one in a battlefield.
So I'm glad you bring that up. So when if you're in boot camp, say you're like 6 or 7 weeks in boot camp and you get thrown out for whatever reason, it could even be 4 weeks. They put you through what they call POSMA, it's positive motivation training. There's 2 types. There's one to help you stay, and there's one to help you readjust to civilian life. Your brain gets a bit warped because they're training you to be a killer. They're training you to do other things and have talents and skills, but they're training you to be. Everybody in the Navy is a killer. Everybody in the Navy is a killer and a firefighter and a medic. That's any branch of the military, by the way. It doesn't even matter what branch you're in. If you're on a ship, everybody is a firefighter. So if you're in the Marines, Navy, or Coast Guard, you're a firefighter and you're a medic. That's just you got to know basic meds. You just if you fail, like what's that, Jimmy? Oh no, man. So they make you do mouth to mouth. So they do it with a dummy, and I still remember this. My commander comes in one day. He said, "Oh, we ain't got no dummy today, so y'all gonna have to do it to me." And we all just looked at this. Guess this dude's a huge dude, by the way. And we all just looked at him and say, "I don't think so, sir."
You gonna die, sir. If this
I
is real
said, I said, you big and bad, but there's 80 of us and one of you, my friend. He starts laughing. He's like, but this is like, we're like 6.5 weeks in, 7 weeks in now. Because the first 4 weeks, don't crack a joke at this ass. Whatever you do, because it's just going to get you some kind of torture. It's and my mouth, 2 things used to get me in trouble in boot camp. Even though I left with virgin chits. These are just, by the way, a chit's just a little piece of paper. They give you 2 of them when you start boot camp. They put them in your pocket. And if they get pulled, each one gets pulled, you get in trouble for it. And so this is one of them things. So I got in trouble one time. We were out, man, because when I got to boot camp, I know this is boring, people, but when I got to boot camp, I've been smoking cigarettes. I used to walk in the woods a lot, but I wasn't running. So the first quarter mile, like, killed me. I'm sitting on the ground. Sound like a freaking dog, man. I'm huffing and puffing. And so by week 3, I was like, screw this. So I started going and running an extra mile every evening, which was fine. They didn't have a problem with it. Well, one afternoon, your qualifying run is 2 3/4 miles, and you have to do it in, I think it's 23 minutes or 21 minutes. I have to go look, but it's fairly quick. It's a good pace. And so you have to be able to run those three almost 3 miles. So
a fit human can do a mile in 4 minutes.
Yeah, a really fit human can
If
do a
they're
mile.
fit, yes.
Yeah, average is somewhere between 5 and 7, depending
5
on
and 7
who you
minutes
are.
a mile
Yeah,
for
yeah.
is that walking or jogging?
That's running. That's not jogging. That's running. Well,
Are you sure?
let me rephrase that. Let me rephrase
walking
that.
is the human's walking pace was 4 to
No,
5 miles an hour.
let me rephrase that. It's a brisk. It's in between a jog and a run somewhere.
Yeah.
Because you remember you have to do this in X amount of time. So you're not going to walk 3 miles in that short a period of time. It's not going to happen. Because you just. But running you can't, because I remember the company broke a record. It was 20 and a half minutes, which really I thought was kind of sucky. But my commander explained it to me. So the guy who crossed the line first did it in 14.2 minutes. But the last guy who crossed was like 20 minutes and 30 seconds or something.
Oh,
so that's how they do it. It's the last guy that crosses was to judge your company. But as long as he makes it inside the time, it doesn't really matter. But they still got a record. And I remember I started out in the pack with these big, tall guys. I ran for the first 2 miles, but by the time we got to 2.25 miles, I was getting tired. And I just got in the middle and slowed down because it's a big company, you're running with. So I just got in the middle and just chilled out and made the run, and I was all happy. And then to qualify for special training, I had to run 5 miles. Get this, it's just to qualify. I can't go through all of it, some of it's classes, but so it's a 5-mile run, 5-mile swim, and then it's a combination 3-mile swim, 3-mile run, carrying the weight of an average soldier, which today would be around 190 pounds, 180 pounds, carrying this. Yeah, they're crazy, but you have to be able to do it. It's just part of the qualifying. And as far as the shooting part, because I seen Mark posted it a while ago, for the shooting part, I'd already qualified in boot camp, marksman, sniper, sharpshooter, and it was so funny because I still remember my commander goes.
I thought it was marksman, sharpshooter.
I was just talking about. It's marksman, sharpshooter, and sniper. So
sniper. Well, in the Army, it's expert instead of sniper.
For SPs, no matter what branch you service in, that's how you're ranked.
Oh,
it has to be. Actually, several things come to find out, and I didn't know this until I joined. They have to cross, so if you're Green Beret or SEALs or some other things, there's certain things that have to operate in each one, because sometimes they operate together.
Yeah,
as a bigger unit. And they actually got a special name for that, which I can't tell y'all because I'll get in trouble for it. But besides now, it may be something else. Anyway, we're talking, God, more years than half of y'all have been alive. So it was a long time ago. Jimmy, I did 9. Yeah, count them 9 years. Started out as a enlisted man, left as a lieutenant commander.
Lieutenant commander?
Yeah.
You left as a lieutenant commander.
Yeah, but let me hold on.
Dude, that's like lieutenant colonel.
Yeah, well, it's no. It would be like lieutenant colonel would be a commander in the Navy, because a captain is a colonel. So U.S. Navy captain is the same as a colonel.
Same as a colonel. Okay, so you're still one way from captain.
I'm very close. And it was so funny because this was kind of a bribe, because they asked me to stay, and they had already got me twice by giving me some decent amount of money to stay. So I was like, no, I'm ready to go. I got all this education in my head. I learned all kind of stuff. I'm just ready. And Jimmy, I started out as E1. Yes. Now I did get 2 stripes in boot camp, 1 for teaching the fat squad to make sure they crossed the line on time and we didn't fail the company. And that's what got me in trouble and got me sent to a marching party, because I was out jogging an extra. I was talking about that a few minutes ago. I was jogging an extra one day. I ran an extra 3 miles, see if I could do it. And my commander said, where you been? I told him what I'm doing. He said, well, if you're that good, see them 5 guys right there just got through 200? He said, yeah. He said, you're in charge of them now. These guys, and I thought I was out of shape. Shit. And if they didn't graduate, I didn't graduate. Didn't matter what I did. I didn't graduate. I was like, son of a. Anyway, long story short, they graduated. So I think I made 2 of them cry, by the way, too. Not intentionally, but I said, if you keep our company back, that's 75 of the guys over there. I don't know, what's going to happen here. because they'd already beat up one guy. I was on roving patrol the night this happened because we come walking up in the barracks while it's going on. They had this one guy, he's a gay guy, and he used to stand in the hallway. So they have these big, huge showers. 40 people can fit in each shower. So they have these big, huge showers, and everybody walks and does their thing, and they're open showers. There's no walls in between or anything. You're just standing next to the next guy, and yeah, what it didn't matter to me because once I hit week 4, I was on whatchamacallit duty, so I was out of sync with the company. So when I came in, there was nobody in there. But for the first 4 weeks, it sucked. But anyway, it just this guy used to stand in the doorway, in the tile doorway, and just stare in the bathroom. So I don't know who reported him to our commander. And the commander decided to run his background and found out he had been thrown out. This was his last branch. He'd been thrown out of every branch because he was gay, which back then you couldn't be gay and be in the military. It just wasn't a thing.
Yeah. Automatic washout, right?
Yeah,
if
you're
they
out.
found out.
Yeah. But anyway, when they found out, what they did was he had an upper bunk. They popped a sheet over him on 4 guys on each side, held the sheet down. And we used to have these things, these little sack things we carry like all of our shaving shit in and stuff. And they were like holy, I don't know what the hell you'd call it, like a little net thing. And so everybody put a bar. So yeah, everybody put a bar of soap in one.
Yep.
Spun it around, and everybody took 3 licks as they went by. And they did keep it between his neck and his, what, but still, we're talking 80 guys here now. Me and stupid Pete only had to do it because we walked in at the wrong, because we didn't know what was happening. We were on roving patrol. And then they grabbed us when we came around. Oh no, Joe, you can't, And I was like, no bullshit. Because I didn't even know this guy. He never stared at me. And regardless, we did it anyway. And then I remember the next morning, because he was all bent over, his stomach had a freaking bruise like this big on it. I remember my commander in the morning, he says, I know what went on last night. He said, don't think I don't know what the hell went on last night. And nobody said a word. I mean, it was like, psh, you could hear the crickets 2 blocks away cricketing. Because I mean,
you could hear the crickets listening for crickets.
Ooh, man, it was like quiet. And he said, y'all are guilty. He said, and he looked over at the guy and he goes, you're out of my company. You know that, right? He said, they'll be here to pick you up in the morning. You'll be transferred to wherever. He said, tonight you're going to the infirmary. He said, so anybody wants to come by, it's the last time you see him, get your shit, you're going. And out he went. And then we did an extra 5 duty days because no one said anything. By the way, in the secret part of this, the commander was actually quite happy. He was an E6 actually, and he was actually quite happy that we didn't say anything. He thought it showed character in his company. His words, not mine. It was it's one of the things you learn in life. What's that, Jimmy? People got beat up in the Navy all the time. It was.
Oh yeah, good God! And I mean, the scene that you see in Full Metal Jacket, where they what Joe just described, they do to Vincent D'Onofrio's character, Private Pyle. They pull a sheet or a towel over him, and like 4 guys hold him down, and then everybody comes by with they didn't have a bag. They had their a hand towel or a washcloth with the bar of soap in it, and they walked by, and 3 times each guy, and then the last guy was his friend and bunkmate who hit him like 10 times, and that stuff gets
a sock.
Huh?
Hey, Leah.
A sock with a soap bar in it.
Yeah, they did.
It might have been a sock. Yeah, I don't remember exactly what they used there, but it wasn't a netted bag, and
it probably was.
It's exactly what Joe described, and that's called hazing, and it happened through all of the things. I mean, I wasn't in the military, but one of my good friends who taught me how to tactically shoot, he was a Black Beret Army Ranger, and for his graduation from Ranger School, they told me they did this to him, and they all of the people in his group did this. They blindfolded him. They made him take his 3 guns apart. He took his M9 Beretta, his M16A2, and his M249 saw, and broke them all down to their component parts, and put them in a duffel bag and shook it up. Then his lieutenant took the bag, put it in a locker, a single locker, put him blindfolded in that locker, closed it, locked it, and then put it down on its side and threw him down a flight of stairs upside down. And they said, go. And he had like, I don't know how much time, but he had to get all 3 weapons reassembled, blindfolded out of that duffel bag and working before they'd let him out. And I think he was in there for like 3 hours.
Yeah, well, that's because if you don't know your gun parts,
you don't know how to put your weapon together, and you've been blinded by
Well,
fire.
usually by that time you know how to put it together. But the thing of it is some parts, depending on what kind of guns they are, can be similar.
Oh yeah,
so you got to be careful. Christopher, we used to have a clock watch how fast we had to do ours. Oh yes, buddy, and don't F it up. See, because with the military is a funny beast. It's not always what people think. They give you time to learn this stuff. They really do.
Yeah.
It could be weeks, it could be months, could be days. But I could break down an M16 in my freaking sleep, man. That's child's play. But M16 is not a complicated gun. It's kind of like Martha. She's not real complicated. It's like 5 pieces.
Only 35 moving parts, I think. It's not that much.
And in that point, one of those sets, like 10 of them are in one piece.
Yeah, like the receiver is all like most of it's all together.
It's so
you break it down. What do you got? A barrel, your grips, maybe 10, 15 pieces if you don't break apart the receiver.
The first gun I shot in the Navy was an M14. Yes.
M14 ranch rifle. I had one of them. They're nice.
Yeah. It was a very nice gun. It shot better than M16 did.
Yes, it does.
But just Navy does what the Navy does. Well, no, they got something new now.
The reason it shoots better than the M16 is because the M16 is so freaking light. It's plastic and metal, and the M14 is wood. It's nice and heavy. So I think the M16
was your gun. I think the M16 was one of the first composite materials we used. Yeah.
When the first one came out,
you stuck it in water, it wouldn't shoot the barrel. So you take an AK-47, you could pan it down in the mud and lift it up. M16.
Yeah, you can't do that with an M16. The
or
first
blow the barrel off.
When it came out, I think it was 1956. I might be wrong about that, but I think 1956 is when it first came out, and it was called the Car 15. And it was a carbine size. So it was an 18-inch barrel. It had Bakelite foregrip and hand grip, and a Bakelite reinforced Bakelite shoulder stock. So the forerunner of plastic. And Bakelite is very, very brittle. So and it doesn't like heat. Neither did the 18-inch carbine barrel that they used on the first version, because if you shot more than 3 magazines in it, the barrel would go and melt, and then it would blow up in your face.
Oh yeah, it would blow up in your face.
It wasn't until like the A2 version that they haven't even. I may even be up to A3 now, but the A2 is what I think we currently use.
Well, I remember
and it's got all kinds of different devices they added to it to make it so it doesn't blow up in our soldiers' faces, which it did frequently because of mud in the barrel and because of being too hot and the barrel deformed.
Oh yeah, well they changed a lot of that now. We used to blow barrels out all the time.
Yeah.
But no, Kirk, when I was stationed in Tennessee, we were using M1s and M1 carbines is what we were using. Same round, just one was a carbine, one was a rifle. No, the M1 rifle was a bolt. Okay, let me explain something. Bolt action's always a choice for a long range shot. Always. You can buy an automatic, you can buy lever action, you can buy whatever you want. But you go ask any pro, you go look at them big snipers who are shooting 2 miles, and you're going to notice it's a big gun, but it's a bolt action.
3 or 5 round magazine tops, and they usually load it one at a time.
They usually do, because they have because the bolt action itself, the whole setup, balances the gun much, much better. There's weight there. When you're shooting a long shot, you don't want the gun to move. You want it to stay there. And when you pull the trigger, if the gun is heavy enough, it won't move. Even if you're one of them guys who likes to like this. No, when you pull the trigger, you do this. You don't jerk. You see my arm didn't move at all. You don't move. But a lot of people do this when they pull the trigger.
Yeah, their whole body jerks. Yeah.
Or if you're doing a pistol, it'll go either down or up, depending on how strong your arms are.
It will also in the same token, depending on how much of your finger pad you put on that trigger. If you don't put it directly in the middle, if you put too much on it, you're gonna pull it down to the left, and that's where your bullet's gonna go. If you're too high, you're gonna pull up and to the right. And if you're left-handed, it's gonna be exactly the opposite.
That's what I like about Martha.
While you're messing up, I'm putting too much trigger finger on. Let me try less. Boom, boom. Oh, now I'm hitting in the center.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons I like Martha, because she's top heavy. And I was talking to a guy, but I said, well, he's Turkish. These people who make this gun canning don't mess around. And I looked it up and seen it had beat out Glock in almost every category as a target gun. I was like, well, this sounds interesting. So I took it out and I noticed when you held it straight, when you pulled the trigger, and if you jerked a little bit, because I had a 5-pound trigger on it, the top was so heavy that it would pull down. Well, it came with a 2, 3, and 5-pound trigger. So if you're a serious shooter, you put the 2 or the 3 on there. You barely just it's going.
Well, I had a Taurus model 308 or no 608. Sorry, excuse me, 608, and it was modeled after the 629/29 Smith & Wesson 44 Magnum. I had it calibered in 357 Magnum, so it was the same size gun that could handle 44 Magnum, but it was necked down for 357, and the cylinder holds 8, not 6, because the extra room, because 44s are so much fatter than 357s, there's extra room in the cylinder, so they could bore out 8 holes. And the trigger was phenomenally light and super crisp right out of the box. I mean, every Taurus I've ever had, if anyone's interested in buying a firearm, Taurus has out of the box a free expert blacksmith, gunsmith trigger job. Everyone.
Yes, and that's one of the things I liked about this gun. This gun came with extra parts, so you could do it to your own self. And so a Glock equivalent of this with all the special pieces that this gun came with extra would run you about $3,600. It's going to cost me $650. That's it.
Yeah.
It even came with a custom cleaning kit. Yeah. I mean, it came with a custom cleaning kit. What was I going to buy? I was out to buy a 1911 45 is what I was out to buy. And
I want one of those.
And a good friend of mine was going to sell me one. He had a brand new silver one. But I got one silver pistol as is. I don't know. I like silver, but not that much. So I was looking for something that maybe they got this really cool blue, the dark weird color. But I was looking for something like that, and then I ran across the Canic, and I liked the vented cage. I thought it was a 45. And but it wasn't. It was a notch. But I love the gun. It's weird. Before
I had a 1911 in 9. It shot very well. Yeah. And it held. I think it held 8. Set 7 and 8 in the magazine.
Well, I see. That's why that's why the military and the police replaced it in the 1911, right?
It only held 7 rounds.
Well, I think the newer ones hold like 9, but
some
still,
you get an extended magazine. But the original one held 7 in the magazine and 1 in the pipe. My Beretta, my 1911, it was a Springfield, calibered in 9mm, and I believe the magazine held 8, and you could put 1 in the pipe, so you get a total of 9 bullets.
No, it's a good gun though, but I would have just bought an extended clip for it anyway, like I got from I got the 31 rounds for the 9mm.
You got to be careful with those though. They can tend to, especially if it's not a factory brand magazine, the extended magazines can tend to harm the catch release for the magazine, and it's not a
this
good thing.
Thing came with a 21 round clip.
That's what I'm saying. It comes with it, you're okay, but a lot of people would go out and buy a gun straight off the shelf with a 10 round magazine or 15 round magazine, but they want 20.
If you're going to use the gun,
it's not supposed to. The extra weight. You have to change the spring in your magazine release catch, otherwise it won't hold that extra weight. Eventually, it'll start not holding even regular size magazines. So, you have to do your research on that kind of stuff and do the right gunsmith to make it work.
One of the 380s I got one of these special edition 380s, and where's it at? What's around here? Oh, there it is, right there.
Yeah, there she is.
There it is. So this.
I had a question.
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and describe the last rifle that I shot, and maybe you guys would be able to know what it is, but it was late 1800s, early 1900s era, like pre-World War One.
Sounds like a black.
No, no, it was bolt action. I think it was from the 1920s.
Oh, it was probably M1 then. Or something
and
like that.
it was wooden, like it had a wooden body to it.
Thompson gun.
Yeah, it could have been a Thompson
gun. And it was heavy.
What kind
of clip? But it was it sure shot true.
45 caliber.
And I don't know all the ins and outs of all that stuff. I'm not a gun nut, but
was the magazine?
It's not atomic. There was no magazine. It was.
See that trigger in there, guys? There's a trigger inside of that bullet.
It had all I know is it was a bolt action, one round per. You have to keep loading a round into it each time.
Sounds like one of the original M1s.
Oh yeah, it could be.
It could be.
I think that might be it, but anyway, I was at a rifle range with Matt and his dad, and his dad has a whole arsenal. Like, his dad has legit, the underside of his house is like John Wick. And
nothing wrong with that. There used to be a lot of guns around.
Oh yeah. Well, he let me use that one, and
Is that it?
Ding, like, oh yeah, ding, at the end of it was like a 200-yard.
No, that's not one round, Jay. What the hell? That's like 100 rounds.
That's what I thought she was.
Oh no! It was not. It was not a mini. It was not a submachine gun. It was a bolt action rifle.
That's what it was. Yeah, probably used to kill people at distances. Usually that's why it's a bolt action. So it's a better gun for shooting long distances.
Yeah, it was an old school, like, I'm not gonna say like sniper rifle, but it wasn't a hunting rifle. It was a military rifle.
Yeah, it sounds like
from way back in the day.
I think I got it. This has got to be it, because I shot one of these. These things are freaking awesome. Ding, ding, ding. Is that it?
That's what it looked like.
M1 Garand. That is from World War II, and it had a magazine clip called an end clip, which shot out the top of the receiver, and I believe it held 6 or 7
It did not
bullets.
have a clip. This one did not, and it was pre-World War II. It was pre-World War I.
Oh wow.
Well,
then I don't know.
Was over 100 years old. I shot a rifle that was over 100 years old. I shot the target from over 200 yards away, and I don't know. I kind of blew the guys out of the water. They were not aware that I had previous like rifle range training from the Marine Corps when I went to basic training. And when they pulled that out and I knew how to, set up my shot and everything, I don't know. It was just a cool memory, because that was like the only good memory that I ever had with Matt's dad. But anyway,
weirdo. It's no, Jeffrey. Actually, we're going to be talking about 3i Atlas. We just got off somehow on the gun thing. It happens.
Someone asked a really cool question and we answered it.
Yeah. It's you mean guns? I used to have a lot of guns. Not anymore. I only got a few these days. I sold all my I don't hunt anymore, so I sold all my hunting rifles and stuff like that. The only thing I really miss, I miss my odd 6, but I miss my 30-30 lever action. I missed that little sucker. I had a lever clip on it. It's called a lever clip. Well, Jenny, a lever clip is so when you come back and you pull it, there's a clip that catches the trigger and shoots it every time you flip it, so you don't have to pull the trigger. It's like a little, it really lays, but you can only have, I think, 5, 6, 7, maybe 8 rounds in there. Depends what kind of, how they had it set up, if it had a little wood inside of it or not. It's a strange thing. But anyway, so I've been getting letters all day. We were talking about 3i Atlas a couple of weeks ago. Yep. And Omarosa. No, whatever. Oumuamua. Sorry, it is a Oumuamua. I don't know why I always call it Omarosa. But anyway.
There is one out there called it's a Japanese goddess, Amaterasu, I think. There's an asteroid out there called that.
So we're talking
Isn't
about
there another one that's like isn't there one that has like a Russian name to it?
I don't know. There's a lot of them out there. So, but we were just talking about the interstellar ones, the ones that are coming from somewhere else. The aliens got her, people. Oh my God! Look what happened. See, it's what you look like when you're getting probed. Y'all keep that in your head now. It's a probe in place. Yeah, she look at her eyes. They're like, oh, man, what? And see it. Aliens, what? Look, see, there she is. Oh, no. She must have slapped a gray or something. You had your probing face on. It was scary, girl. It was scary. You had to look at it. No, so anyway.
I'm gonna lose ya. I'm gonna.
Oh, yeah. Signal's going wonky. She froze.
You have been taken over by extraterrestrials. But anyway,
She just got beamed
what we
up.
were talking about. Yeah. So I get all kind of emails about this 3-eye atlas, and it's nonstop bugging on me about it. And I'm like, Joe, it's alien. It's alien. Well, maybe it is alien. So right now, what I'm going to do the facts first, and then we'll talk about the speculation. So it did not blow up. To everybody who sent me an email, oh my God, we blew it up. I said, look, if we did, the Dark Star satellite blew it up. I said, but since it didn't, we did. I said, so let's just talk about what we do know. We do know it's changed speeds a couple of times, slightly changed direction. Last I heard, it's still going by Mars, except now it's passing inside Mars's moon. Between the moon and Mars itself, close enough that it could accidentally collide with Mars.
Or the moon.
Or the moon, yes.
And
Mars has a moon?
Has two.
Yes, has two moons. Phoebos and Phobos. And a few other developments. So not only has it changed speed, both speeding up and slowing down, it has apparently changed course, or we have gotten a more accurate reading on it, either or. So it seems like it's changed course, or maybe we were wrong on the first course. And it has changed color 3 times. At first, it didn't have any color, which is the lack of color. Then it started glowing white. And then it started going green. And then it started going red. Comets don't change color like that.
Could that have anything to do with? I mean, could it be changing temperature?
No,
that's that.
It's a ball of
As
ice.
it's like,
if it is actually a ball of ice, as it's supposed to be, the only thing that could explain it would be maybe sunbeams going through the ice and, turning into, being prismatically shown on the outside of the comet. But other than that, it shouldn't go white. I mean, it should go white. It should not go green or red, period, as a comet.
Yeah. Well, then we get stuff that we get a greenish glow or a bluish glow to
but
it.
Not comets.
Well, I don't know what the hell they are, actually. So we're just going to leave it alone. But they get a lot of weird stuff like that. And, of course, when you're looking at meteors or meteorites or shooting stars, they come in all shapes, sizes, and colors there. But that's just the materials, all that is. It's what they're made up of. They're whatever iron or ice or whatever the hell it happens to be made up of. But anyway, getting back, so that, it's changed course a couple of times. And it's definitely changed speed a few times. Also, what bothered everybody, it's not so much that it moved around and stuff, that it's got a pulse to the light. Like, I'm going to find out.
Yes, they thought it sent out a signal too.
In sync pulse. Well, that's what they're talking about. That's what this is, but it's a pulse. It's so not only is it pulsing, but the light's pulsing with the noise it's making. It's all in one action. So it's 2 different things sync together. That's what flipped the scientists out. Because it could have been all of this stuff, because, things make sounds. People never realize how noisy space actually is, because we're all taught there's no noise in space. Well, that's not really true, is it? You can't hear noise in space, but space and the things in space make a lot of damn noise.
Let me explain it this way. My father was he created a new physics major at Johnstown University called hydroacoustics. So he was very good with sound, and he explained it like this: there aren't any particles close enough in space for sound waves to form. So no matter how much you try to scream and yell, even if you have ample oxygen, there's no oxygen molecules out there for the sound waves to form in. Therefore, sound cannot happen. But radio and other types of sounds and noises can be picked up. They are, however, outside of our audible range.
It's very, very well. No, they're most of what are you talking, Jimmy? All sound is waves.
All energy is waves.
That's why it works the way it does. So we pick them up. So, you know what? I play these a lot. We're in October now, right? Let me see if I can find this right quick, and we'll play it. But there's so much we just don't know about anything. But getting back to AI, so we had the first one come through. Supposedly it sent a signal, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. And then there was a second one that came through that just seemed to be everyday comet, nothing special. A little bit bigger than the first one. Now this one's bigger than the two. There's supposed to be a fourth, which we'll check into more while we're talking. But anyway, getting back to Three Eye Atlas. So this thing's cruising along at insane speed. So is the other one. I mean, 134,000 miles an hour. Do you realize if it breaks up, or even if it hits in one piece, it's going to do a massive amount of damage?
It would probably destroy Earth if it hit Earth.
Yeah. Well, NASA said if it hit the Atlantic Ocean, it would create a tsunami from top to bottom of the planet on both sides, probably 1,800 feet tall, and would wash into at least 10 miles inland wherever it hit. So think about it this way: East Coast.
At least 10, no, that's longer than that. I would say at least 300 miles inland if it's that tall.
No, it won't, because first off, it pulled all the water out with it. So for every mile it goes in, it's losing water back to the ocean. So it's shrinking quickly because it has to fill in all that gap, because all that water came with it when it came on shore. And it drops. Yeah, I was reading about that. I was surprised how fast they'll dissipate. That was kind of surprising me. But, we should know that from Katrina. Katrina pushed a 30-foot, a little mini baby tsunami at 30 feet. And it washed inwards about 3 miles, maybe 4 miles to the railroad tracks, maybe 4 miles. That's as far as it could push itself in, and it dissipated in a matter of less than 2 hours. The only reason it even stayed inland is because the storm was still pushing it. But as soon as the eye passed, all the water pushed out back into the ocean. It was gone. Yeah. So even with something maintaining force behind it, it still couldn't stay for that long. But it doesn't matter. Think about it. 1,800 foot wave. It just flattened everything. No, 1,800 feet.
It would blacken out the sun.
Stories. Yeah, that's 180 stories, Jackie. Yeah, that's
how
big the wave
wouldn't
is.
It? I would imagine.
No, not that high. Well, yeah, I guess within a mile it probably
wouldn't make it dark, but you could see the sun.
No, but if you were standing, say, within 2 miles of where it's headed, it would probably black out anything out behind it. Because it'd be like looking at a building. If the sun was behind an office building, you wouldn't see the sun. You'd see the light come around it, but you wouldn't see the sun. No, dude, Jack, they're talking about from top to bottom of the planet. Yes, it would even wash in. It would even wash into the Gulf of Mexico, 300 or 400 feet high.
Yeah, even though we have things called the Seven Seas and the Atlantic Ocean and the Pacific Ocean, it is all connected. Except for a few sparse places like Lake Titicaca, which is a freshwater brackish lake up on the mountains. The entire ocean, it's all one piece. There isn't anywhere you can't go by boat starting in the Atlantic Ocean. You can hit all the ocean, the whole thing. Take you forever, though.
What Jesse, the Pacific is deeper. And so if you get a big strike there, but Pacific is also bigger. So the wave would have time to dissipate some on the way. So it all depends on how close. So if it hits mid-Atlantic, it's not that much difference between China and America, mid-Atlantic. It's just, I mean, think about it. England is gone. There is no more island. No one live. France is gone.
No, it's a sandbar now.
Everything to the everything to the Mediterranean is gone. And let's not forget the wave, because of the rocks, the way it's going to push in, it's going to act like a jet and force that water in there, probably about 800 foot tall, and all inside of there is going to get wiped out. Greece, Italy, it's going to be although people survive, about half of America. Well, see, Jack and him, there's a group out there that worked for the government that said that it's possible a wave could reach from the Atlantic to the Mississippi River. But by the time it got to the Mississippi River, it would probably only be like 1 or 2 foot tall. It's but
if a significant amount of water did make it to the Mississippi Valley, that's exactly the problem. It is a valley, and it used to be an inland sea. So if a significant amount of water would come there immediately, like that's how the Black Sea was made. It's something that happened geophysically with the planet. A huge tsunami broke over and created the Black Sea. Same thing could happen with the middle of the country.
So, no, you got the river, so the river would act like a natural canal and pull it down.
Yes, but I mean, it's still the possibility that a significant amount of water could be dumped there and stay there for quite some time. It would be very devastating to the breadbasket of the country. It would, because that's where most of our farming is.
Yeah, but it just would the only thing that would really be bad wouldn't be so much the water because they could get past that. It would be that it was salt water.
Yes.
So they'd have to do a
Salt water
lot
would
of
kill
work.
all the crops immediately.
So they'd have to have a lot of work to deal with that. So Jesse, I mean that's if it was coming here, but right now it doesn't look like it's coming here. It looks like it's headed to Mars. It seems to have a crush on Mars for some reason. We're not exactly sure why it loves Mars the way it does, but it does seem to be wanting to go to Mars. Well, the other one went by Mars. So this is the first one we didn't even know until it actually passed the sun. That's when we knew it was there.
Yeah, some of these things we don't know about them until they are hit by our sun's light.
Yeah,
they're invisible until our visible light from our sun hits them and bounces off. Otherwise, we do not see them.
Okay, what was this? So we get ready to go to break in a second here, but wait, I lost the damn room. Oh, there it is. I got it back. So we're gonna go take a break right quick, just to give you some ideas when you heard us talking about weird sounds earlier. I'm gonna play the sounds of Saturn and then a song, and then we'll probably be back. So 6 or 7 minutes, maybe 8 minutes.
Oh, you should also find that there's a sound of scientists. I don't know when, in the 50s maybe. They drilled down into the earth 1 mile, and then they dropped down a microphone. And what they got up is like a horror movie. It's like sounds like what you would expect hell to sound like.
Yeah, I think I've actually heard that once. But
yeah, I have too.
It's what do you mean? I heard it was a hoax too, but then I heard it was real. So you never know. Russia dug a hole as far as they could possibly go, as far as anybody's ever dug one, and then freaked out and filled the hole up. You don't know what you're going to find down there alive. Look, there's bacteria down there that used to wipe out dinosaurs and stuff that we have no immunity to. And you're going to go drag it up to the surface. Yeah. Not the smartest thing I've ever heard. But anyway, we're going to go take a break right quick. What's it, Jack? You're listening to United Public Radio 107.7 105.3. Did she like scream? Did the aliens get her again?
No, they brought her back already.
I know, but I heard some weird sound coming out of her, like a squeezy toy thing. It's kind of weird, man. It was weird.
Oh, looks like looks like they're taking her back. She's frozen up. She's being beamed up now. You hear the distortion in her voice.
I know.
Beamed up. Once again. Oh, there she is.
But anyway, we're going to break.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you now.
Can you? Wait,
they usually come back right as we go to break.
Real quick.
You got to spit it out.
Real quick. It was elite infield. It was elite infield jungle carbine. Like FTH British. Something.
British World War I, yeah.
It was British. Yeah, that's what I shot.
British Enfield. Yeah, it's a good rifle.
And anyway, yeah.
On that note, we're going to go to
break.
That's
the last rifle I shot.
Well, cool. Rifle's always fun to shoot. It's I can't say that because we're live on
I got a cowboy rifle.
I was talking to somebody just today who was shooting a rifle just yesterday, but we'll talk about that when we're at break. But ladies and girls, we're going to go to break. I want everyone to stay tuned and hang out to United Public Radio and UFO Undercover. We have lovely Lee up here. We got the Dragon Man Jay up there, and of course my lovely face right here. And so I want everyone to stay tuned, hang out for a little while, get a cup of coffee. If it's legal, smoke a gem. Yeah, I don't have no problem. I mean, it's legal in like 40 states now or something. So, we'll talk about that when I come back because we got to go to break. Yes, so they've made it legal in like 10 states where you can have it mailed to you. Don't ask me. And Alabama is one of them. And Alabama used to be if you had one joint, you went to jail for 5 years.
Jesus, yeah.
Yeah,
you don't go to jail for that long if you shoot somebody dead in the streets in front of a cop.
Well, you shoot somebody and they're not from Alabama, they probably won't even put you in jail. It's they don't have what that judge said at the time. Well, he shouldn't have been in Alabama. He don't belong here. I was like, holy shit. That's for a news show, guys. He goes, I'll tell you about that this Friday. But anyway, we're going to break. Look at this lovely satellite. This is was it Cassini? Which one was flying around?
It's a Cassini probe. There was another name to it too, but it was 2 probes that launched off, and then they separated on Saturn. One went to one of the moons, and then the other one went out. I don't know where it went. Uranus, I think.
So this is Halloween month, so I will be playing weird Halloween stuff all month on all the shows that we host. And I expect the host to do it for all the network shows. Yes, it's Halloween.
Play Goo Goo
people.
Muck by the Cramps.
Slap
Play
her,
Goo
Jay.
Goo Muck by the.
Oh, she's
Play
underneath
the
me.
Cramps.
Hold on.
We should play something like Chumbawamba.
No, we're playing.
No, Goo Goo
Anyway,
Muck.
we've already got what we got up, so we got to worry about it. Maybe do we have another break? I don't know. But anyway, we got to go to break, guys and girls. Y'all going to get to hear the lovely sounds of Saturn. Really, this sounds like something out of like a 1950s sci-fi movie. It's very strange. But anyway, on that note, we'll see y'all in about a few minutes, and stay tuned and enjoy the weird sounds of Saturn.
This is a theremin.
These are the actual radio waves that Saturn produces, not a theremin.
Waiting for a laser to jump out and shoot my ass. I mean, look, it sounds like what was that movie with Leslie Nielsen, Forbidden Planet? Sounds
Forbidden
just like
Planet,
that.
or something else.
It
Star
sounds
Trek.
just like it. It's creepily weird. It sounds like those two. As their little saucers flying through space.
What?
I wonder if this tapes the phone. No, it can't be. We didn't even have satellites back then. Hey, Eugenia.
Hey, Eugenia.
Uh-oh. What the hell's got us now?
The aliens are sending out a transmission.
It's talking to the moon, or the moon's talking to it.
That sounds like a Geiger counter.
It does, doesn't it? They say it's the moons. Different moons make different sounds to Saturn, and Saturn reacts to each moon. It's very strange.
And Saturn has like 260 moons.
Is Jupiter a failed sun?
I think so, yes.
No, it's not a failed sun. It never happened, so it's different.
Those really are some spooky 1950s horror film sounds.
My daughter is being treated for leukemia. It hit me hard.
He's so bad.
Well, who is this guy, man? This guy is just ugly. Hey, man, what you doing on our
Wow,
screen?
Joe.
Man?
Where did
Who
he
is this
come
guy,
from?
man? I don't know, but he's ugly, man. We get high and you're going. We all like St. Jude, but we don't like you, apparently. That was Jack. That was truly the sounds of Saturn. That's truly what it was. Yeah,
Jupiter is even weirder sounding.
it's a very strange. It's a very strange setup. Yeah, hold on, let me get this out off the screen. Stop messing around with it and then move it. It's all the planets talk, not just the planets. The solar system talks. Black holes talk. Nebulas talk. They all have their own sounds.
Yeah,
like they're communicating with each other.
Would you like to know, Joe, what the sum total of things in our solar system is?
Oh God, yeah, it's got to be an enormous amount of shit.
It's not as big as you'd think. I was shocked too. Not counting comets and asteroids, all that kind of stuff. That's just too many to count. But of planets, protoplanets, or dwarf planets, moons, and satellites, natural satellites, and not including the sun. 431 objects. You're muted.
Oh, sorry, I couldn't find out which one I was muted on. That's kind of cheesy, actually. It's
well, 260 of those moons are around Jupiter. I'm sorry, Saturn.
Yeah.
65 or 70 are around Jupiter, and the rest
It's
of the
kind of weird because Jupiter's really the cleanup thing, but I guess Saturn's further out. So
Saturn is further out, and I think Saturn is also a little bit bigger because of it, not of its planet size, but because with its rings, it just attracts more. I think it has just a larger footprint. But Jupiter is indeed a failed star. I looked it up. Google told me it is the exact same components as our star.
You better get on Google's ass because it's not. So in order to achieve fusion, you have to have X amount of mass. Jupiter's never had.
It doesn't have enough.
Mass.
Yeah. It doesn't. It needs 75,
so it's not failed.
Times more mass.
Just a gas giant. So they got in this argument a while back, and because all these big gas giants they're finding, one's 150, 180 times the size of Jupiter. They're not going to be suns either. So if they're not going to be suns, it was never a prayer in hell that Jupiter was ever going to.
No, it has the exact same ingredients as our sun. So all it needs is 75 times more mass. So if 75 more exact Jupiter-sized planets merged with it, it would consume itself into.
It's not true though. They got planets bigger than that, gas giants bigger than that out there. That's what they were trying to get across to people. It would have to be a magnitude of maybe 300 times the size it is currently.
Well,
maybe
the fact is that almost every solar system in our galaxy is binary, meaning it has two stars revolving around each other plus planets. So the possibility of it being our sister star is possible.
Oh, it's possible to have a sister star. It's possible to have 3 or 4 sister stars and brother stars.
Yes,
that's not the point. But they're not going to be. Even a red dwarf is bigger than Jupiter by quite a bit.
Yeah.
So you need mass. You're not just deuterium, but you need mass. You need deuterium, and you need lots of deuterium.
Yeah, and well, I mean, maybe Google's numbers are off, but at some point, if you add enough mass to Jupiter and these other gas giants of the same components,
but in order to be failed, that means at one point it was trying, but it never got to that point. So you can't say it's failed. You can say maybe a wannabe star, but it's not a failed because it never tried to ignite. In order to be failed, you would have had to attempt to have been a star, which it never has. So.
Well, or you need to accumulate enough mass, and it didn't.
Because besides that, I mean, if you're gonna call it a fail, so you'd have to pretty much call Saturn 1, 2, and that's not going to work for anybody either. So.
Likely, what happened was that both balls of gas began forming at the same time, but what is now Sol accumulated more mass faster than Jupiter, and therefore was able to collect more of the gases necessary to ignite, and therefore Jupiter has failed. That there
Too
could be all
bad
kinds
Jupiter
of
just
explanations,
didn't suck
but
up
the
Saturn.
fact is that what's inside of Jupiter is the same thing that's inside of our sun. It's just a different color.
Well, it's not exactly the same, and it's not in the same quantities. That's something else they were talking about. So our sun is a very balanced amount of quantities. Jupiter's not like that. Jupiter's quantities are different. Matter of fact, I think they said about 10% or 20% of the deuterium needed to ignite. Guys, you know what heavy water is? Yes.
Heavy water is deuterium, yes.
Yeah. That's the reason I said that, because I keep getting these questions. What is deuterium? Deuterium's been around a long time. If you like, I'll go get you the actual definition for it. But deuterium is what we make bombs out of.
You guys need to start playing No Man's Sky. It'll teach you all about the periodic table.
I know all I need to know about the periodic table.
Yeah,
Thank you very
I'm
much.
pretty well versed on the periodic table myself.
Matter of fact, I hear sometime by 2030 we're going to be adding either 3 or 4 more to the table.
We already added 3. One of them.
Wait till we get in the asteroid belt.
Yeah. Oh yeah, wait till we hit that. Yeah, absolutely.
So now they're talking. 3 countries are talking now about sending something to meet this AI Atlas. So guys, it's already almost to Mars. It's going to be. It's pretty soon. I think middle of October. I have to go get actual date, but we're not going to be able to see it anymore. It's going to be behind the sun on its approach, so we're not going to see it until it comes out on the other side. Jack's not supposed to get that close to us. No, I don't. I heard all kind of reports. Oh, it's going to come over, fly. No, it's not. I haven't heard it. I have not heard a scientist say it's coming anywhere around here.
I don't
tell
think
you.
It's coming through the inner planets, but I don't think it's going to brush by us. I mean, Mars is significantly further away from us than people think. So you can barely see Mars with your naked eye, and it's just a little red pinprick of light when you are able to see it. So think of 3i Atlas being smaller, even smaller than that. I mean, how big is it? The size of a football field or something like that?
Oh no, 3i Atlas is the argument. It's anywhere from 6 miles to the size of Connecticut.
Okay, so it's
substantial.
You're trying to find the state of Connecticut on the face of Mars, and it's a pinprick on a late night sky. You're not going to see it with the naked eye. Period.
So I mean, it's. Well, no, some people think the original estimate was it was 20 miles long, 15 miles thick, and like something like 25 miles wide.
Good Lord.
That's big. That's big enough to be an extinction event if it hits in the right place. It doesn't have to be.
That extinction event, that'll sterilize the planet. There's a difference. Extinction event means some things will survive. Sterilization means nothing.
So what they said about this was, as long as it didn't hit in one of the shallow basins, it's survival for about half the people on the planet, more so in the southern hemisphere than the northern hemisphere. But if it hits in a shallow basin, it will melt everything on the planet's surface up to, they said, almost 1 mile deep, the entire surface. So no, everything's dead. There's not even any bacteria left.
Yeah, it's sterilized and everything is
so until the building blocks of life are brought back to the planet, there's not even any water left. It evaporates all of that. Yeah, so that's what they think happened to Venus, something along those lines. Something triggered an outrageous, what's 900 degrees Fahrenheit? Do you go hang out? Not just, it's not that it's hot. The atmosphere itself is, acidic.
There's so much pressure that the few Russian probes that made it to the surface only survived a few minutes to a few hours before being crushed by the pressure waves. And able to take a few pictures and send them back, and all that they're able to see is a jaundiced yellow sky, no plants, a rocky terrain, and that eerie yellow glow. It's a spooky place.
All right, people, I'm gonna give y'all a planet quiz here now. Come on. Yeah, I know anybody listening to this show should get every answer on this list right, but let's see what we're gonna get here. Where did I go down? I lost the damn thing. Dude, I just had it up here. What did I do? I hate when I do stuff like that. Okay. Apparently, I'm losing my mind. Oh, there it is. Okay, here we go. How many planets are there in the solar system? All right, people. How many? I don't want to hear 16 and 19. I don't even want to hear 9, okay? Because there's not 9 planets in our solar system. I'm going to help y'all out. There's no 9.
I have the technical answer for that as well.
You know, you can call it dwarf planet, planetoid, whatever you want to call it. Doesn't matter. I personally miss Pluto as a planet simply because Pluto has its own moon, which I thought should give it planet class.
And I think Ceres has a moon too, though.
Yeah, you know, so.
And Ceres was an asteroid, and it was boosted up to protoplanet.
No, but I mean a real moon with an atmosphere. I'm not talking about fake ass moons. It's both of those, both Charon and Pluto have atmospheres, so that should be considered a planetary little system right there. Just a little, you know, because it does have it. Well, they're both way the hell out there, but apparently Pluto's geologically active. Maybe
it would need to be in order to maintain an atmosphere.
Yeah, and maybe it's the tug. We don't know what's pulling on it. It's probably Jupiter and Saturn. Well, all the outer planets are huge. Even Uranus and Neptune are huge. They're just not as huge as Jupiter or Saturn. So they're all pulling. Yeah, so they're all pulling on this little planet all the time. So I imagine it does get some heat because they do think in some places there may even be liquid. And we don't know what kind of core it's got. They think they do, but they haven't ever finalized it. So we'll have to just wait and see. And then Charon's just like a copycat of it. But you can see from the images they took, those pictures were no one, including the scientists, were expected to see what they saw on Pluto. They thought it was going to be something like out of Stargate, big frozen tundra. And you looked at it, and there's colors and waves and mountains and peaks and valleys. And you can tell this thing's geologically active. There is ice too. There's lots of ice. You can tell there's glaciers, and they're moving glaciers. You can even see them. You can see how they've moved across the planet. It's active, which just no one was. Everybody expected to see a dead planet like Mercury. That's what they expected to find, a dead planet. So, wait, let's get back to our questions. So, how many of y'all got that right? It's 8. Okay, people. Let's not go getting lion ball on this. Okay, it was 8.
There are 8 planets and 6 protoplanets, including Pluto.
Yeah.
So, if you want to get technical, you could say 14.
No, it's not. Pluto is not a planet. Okay, here we go.
They are protoplanets. So, I mean, the technical answer is you could say that. It's not technically necessarily the right answer, but it is technically not wrong.
So, I'm going to give y'all multiple choice on this one. Y'all going to get this wrong, I can tell. I knew the answer to this, but anyway. What's the furthest planet in the solar system from the sun? Pluto, Neptune, or Uranus? Not Uranus. Okay, yes.
Pluto.
It's Uranus, actually. I do believe it's Pluto. I'm going to go with Pluto.
Pluto.
Oh, come on, rookies. Y'all can't be. It's Neptune.
How? I thought Pluto was the last one.
Pluto's not a planet.
Oh, but I don't care what. Yes, it is. I will never not consider Pluto a planet.
Hey, I did not declassify it. I'm with you two. I think it should be a planet, but it's not. So you got to remember that. They're being, to the code on this. It took me a minute to think of it.
I grew up with my very excellent memory just served up 9 planets.
Okay.
My very excellent memory just served up 9 planets.
Okay, so
Mars, Venus, Earth, or Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars,
Jupiter.
You know the rest.
Didn't work. Yeah, it didn't work, did it?
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus.
It's Uranus.
Neptune.
Neptune, and that's it.
Pluto.
No, Pluto's boo. Pluto. Anyway.
Hey, do you guys know what the spaceship Enterprise and Charmin toilet paper have in common?
Never heard either one of them. What?
Enterprise, like from Star Trek?
Yeah, Star Trek Enterprise and Charmin toilet paper. What do they have in common?
They're made out of the same thing?
No, they both orbit Uranus and wipe out Klingons.
Oh,
that's just disgusting. I'm not going to really get that out of my head now, man. Oh my God. Anyway, now come on, people. Y'all have to think about this one because I know a lot of y'all are going to get this wrong, but I'm going to ask it. Which planet is the closest to Earth? Mars, Venus, or they're tied?
Venus. We could see Venus. Well, I guess sometimes we could see Mars too,
I
but
think Venus.
we
I think
often
Venus is closer.
Yeah,
Venus is like
It's a larger.
mistaken.
Venus is closer.
Yeah, it's a larger.
Way closer than I thought.
Like,
so they were talking. This scientist was cracking me up the other day with this. What did he call it? It's some kind of liquid bomb. He wants to make 500 of them and send them to Venus, and do a whole quarter of the planet. It's like they're like nitrogen bombs, but it's something way more powerful than nitrogen. He wants you to just go drop it over there and bring. He said there's no way because it's so hot there they won't be able to freeze the air. He said you could even use liquid nitrogen, it wouldn't freeze the air. He said, but it would drop the ambient temperatures down somewhere right around 100, 130 degrees, which humans can cope with that.
we can handle that for some time,
especially if there's a place that you can get out of it.
Yeah, I mean, you need to have an indoor atmosphere.
He said one of the things that would also help is the corrosive acids in the area would be almost frozen and would pull down to the surface of the planet. So you could actually get away from that. Now, how long it would last? He said, now, if he said, what they want to do is do the experiment. And if it works, get with the planet and say, okay, look, we're going to need about 10,000 of these things. And we're going to have to get with Elon Musk and have him build, a couple of hundred X ships and just launch these over there. Because if you could change the atmosphere to the point where we could actually go there and start working on the planet, we do Venus before we did Mars. We might do them both at the same time. We might do Moon, Venus, and Mars all at the same time. I mean, there's 8 billion of us now.
We might have to extract some of the gases, as you said before, from Venus to put on Mars.
That's another thing they might start doing, is extracting gases they need and selling them. I could see little Liam over there in his little spaceship calling his mom and say, hey, Mom, guess where I'm at today? It's
I believe it.
We're siphoning methane out of Venus. Flying a
Jimmy, it was
spaceship
Venus.
around.
No, it was Venus. No, Mars is the 4th planet. That means it's the closest planet. Okay, now Jay and I were just talking about this. Anybody who gets this wrong, I'm gonna smack up in their head. So, which planet has the most moons? Now, you just remember just a little while ago, he talked about how many bodies there were in the system. Uranus. You know what I'm saying? That Saturn and Mars. I'm sorry, I'm like I'm 12. I can't help myself. It's so Uranus, Saturn, and Mars. Which one has the most moons? TikTok. I need to get me one of them things from Jeopardy.
You want to use Mars or Jupiter?
Jupiter's not in there. You can't use Jupiter. Which planet has the most moons? You know which planet has the most moons.
I know, yeah.
So it's Mars, Saturn, or Uranus. So come on, people. We talked about Mars earlier. It has Deimos and Phobos. Okay, 2 moons. So they're out.
Saturn.
Very good. Saturn. How many did you say, Jay? 240?
260 something. Yeah. Saturn has 260 some moons. I think it's 262. Might be 263 or 4.
And
it's that.
both
Jupiter has 65, and I think between Uranus and Neptune, there's another 14 or 15 more moons. I'll get their counts in a second here.
The best part about all this is, people, a lot of these planets has atmospheres. These are all planets we're going to be able to use in the future as we become a spacefaring race. We need to stop kicking each other's butts on this planet. There's going to be 8.5 billion. Soon there'll be 9 billion of us. We need to start colonizing. And then, you know what? People go back to having big families again because we'll be colonizing. We'll have places to go and new things to look at, especially in this country. And I've talked about this a lot on all my shows. Americans are easily bored because the base of Americans of one or two things. We're explorers because we came here looking for the new country and new things, or we're people fleeing from bad places that are willing to fight to get to better places. Regardless, none of us are scared to get out into the world and try something new.
I have some numbers. Would anyone care to take a guess as to how many moons are on the planet Uranus?
58.
That's pretty close.
58.
28.
Oh, that's
20.
Does Neptune have any moons?
Neptune, however, has no moons. One of the few planets
Venus, I know,
that has no moons.
So Mercury, Venus, and Neptune.
Yeah,
I think everybody else has moons. Yeah,
just about everybody else.
Pluto is not a planet. I don't make the rules. Don't get upset with me. Yeah, I don't make the rules, man. Look, you know what? Even Neil deGrasse Tyson and Michio Kaku, I talked to both of them about this, did not like Pluto being kicked out of the planet thing. And for the same reason all of us, because we grew up with Pluto as a planet. Yes, it's I don't make the rules. Okay,
Hey,
now
Steve.
I can see some people going to get this one wrong, but hold on.
If
Most
Pluto's
planets have
not a planet, then what is it?
It's a planetoid.
It's a dwarf. It's called a
Dwarf
dwarf
planet.
planet. And some circles call them protoplanets.
Yeah.
That's a planet.
No, it's a mini planet. It's not
The
a real
description
planet.
of a planet
A mini
is that I believe it has to have an atmosphere, which Pluto does, but
But moons can have atmospheres too,
Discriminatory.
because
That's
think of it this way:
discriminatory.
if
That's
you,
like saying a little person is not a person.
yes, but it is because listen, if you make Pluto a planet, then there are several moons around Jupiter and Saturn that will have to become planets because they're bigger than Pluto and they do have atmospheres. Shit, one of them's got a big liquid ocean. They think something's living underneath. So yeah, it's at this point they have to be a planet, a little baby planet, a little cutesy little Pluto. Let me get you on your little head kind of planet. It's I still don't like it either, people, but I do understand the logic because
would you
Saturn
guys
has
hear
at
the
least
definition adopted by the IAU, which says would a planet have three things to become one?
Planetoid.
It's kind of like how we determine life. There are three parameters. It must orbit a star. It must be big enough to have enough gravity to force it into a spherical or elliptical shape. I don't know why they said spherical. And number three, it must be big enough that its gravity has cleared away any other objects of a similar size near its orbit around the sun. Meaning it's the sole thing in that orbital plane.
Yeah, say thank you, Jupiter. Or thank you, Saturn.
So maybe that's why Pluto doesn't, because first of all, the solar system is like this, Pluto's like that. It goes at a weird obtuse angle, and it's floating around with a bunch of other stuff like Ceres and other weird rocks. Probably other debris from Nibiru or Planet 5 being obliterated.
What's that, Jeff? No, Pluto is interesting, but again, there's moons bigger than it. There's moons that have moons around the moon in orbit around a planet.
There are moons going around Jupiter or Saturn, take your pick, that are bigger than Earth.
Yes, I mean, so and they have atmospheres. I mean, a couple of them we're already eyeing about colonizing. You mean it's not Europa, is it? Yeah, the Europa report. So that's the one with the poison atmosphere.
Yeah,
but they think it is loaded with stuff we want.
I wouldn't be surprised. Eugenio, the dog Pluto in Disney was actually named by Walt Disney himself after they discovered the moon. The moon was discovered within the last 100 years. And so when he started doing the animation and the characters are getting popular, the dog that they've developed for Mickey Mouse as a side piece, a comedy side piece, they decided to name it after the most recent planet, and that's why they got Pluto. So that's a legit story. You can actually, there's a video of Walt Disney actually describing why they named the dog Pluto.
Pluto. So anyway, getting back to what we originally were talking about 3i Atlas, because we keep switching topics on these poor people.
Well, we're still on the topic if we're talking about our galaxy, so people know about the size of things and distance of things. We won't see 3i from Mars at all. Well, not unless you have a really big telescope.
Well, no, at Mars, you'll get to see 3i Atlas as it passes in front of your moon. It'll be like a giant moon going by. If you lived on Mars, think about this, people, in a couple of days, if you lived on Mars, you're going to see this massive rock thing just come over and cast a massive shadow over your planet as it goes by. Close enough almost to dip into the atmosphere.
Hell, it might even leave skid marks like the last big thing that passed by Mars and dug up that big old Marivalis trench.
And we don't know what kind of energy, maybe this thing's passed by before. Maybe it did make the Marinara Trench. And I like to call it like the Dressen Trench. But maybe it came by once before. As it goes by, it's going to cut another big gouge, pulling out energy and charging itself as it keeps going.
Yeah, who knows?
It's odd, people, because the orbit this thing came in at It's just like an orbit we would use to shoot something out into deep space, or to shoot something through the core of the galaxy. So, I mean, not the galaxy, the solar system. So, there's some things people don't know. So, I don't know what you would call it. We'll just use the word wave. It's like a wind or a wave right down the center of our solar system. So that's why they want to build a platform in zone L11. So when you launch stuff, you can take advantage of this. It's some type of energy that runs right through, and it can
solar wind.
Yeah, so it's not even solar wind. They called it something else. Yeah, I thought it was solar wind too. They were going to make solar sails, but it's something else. This is almost like a physical force, like a real wind that pushes against the craft itself. And they described it as some type of weird plasma stream that runs through the solar system, but and it goes straight out the other side, and then they don't know what happens after that because we can't see that far. But they said they could use that to get some, and use that, and then of course 4 or 5 planets as you go by, and really get a speed. So they said they could get a ship all the way to Proxima Centauri. I think they said probably 9 years or 10 years if they do it like that. Now, can you put somebody on there? Well, I mean, if you had the supplies, I guess you could. But do you really want to put 1,000 humans on a ship and then fling it out at space at 60% of light speed? Do you trust it? Do you trust anybody on this planet to build something that can withstand 60% of light speed?
Yeah,
I'm just asking. I mean,
think about
I'd
this.
want to go, but
the stuff we sent to the moon, those advanced space rockets were designed by the company that bid the lowest on the job and built it with the most minimal crucial parts. On the LEM, the Lunar Excursion Module, the part that actually separates from the command module, lands on the moon. Every single one of them have parts on it where you can stick your foot through it because it's only as thick as a piece of mylar. And that's how thick the wall of the spacecraft is between the men and the outside of the spacecraft, which is why they have to wear suits most of the time. But just think about that. They built the spaceships with the most minimal parts and least expensive parts they could find on the smallest budget that they could bid for.
Yeah,
it's scary stuff.
It's
scary. It wasn't even state-of-the-art stuff at the time. I mean, mylar was kind of brand new, but everything else was. I mean, they were using tubes and the same stuff that your television had the same tubes that ran it. Your amplifier that you ran your guitar on used the same tubes that ran the space missions for the moon. It's just scary technology.
Christopher, there was, I don't know if I'd call it solid state. There was some, let's just say, maybe some remnants of solid state coming into being in the Apollo missions, not in the Mercury or Gemini, by the way. Yeah, they were basically glass tubes. Well, silicone tubes. Would you like that better? Regardless, that's what they were, and they had to be made in such a fashion because landings and takeoffs aren't always soft and smooth, especially in the old days. I mean, when you look at one of Elon Musk's ships take off, that bitch is graceful. It like sits there for a second, and it's gone. He makes it look easy, and we all know it wasn't that easy. He had lots of failures, but not so
he
much.
Also had lots of money to continue. I mean, think about it. If you have NASA versus a privately funded guy who's got billions of dollars, NASA is funded on an annual budget voted on by people that can't agree on that the sky is blue. And then on top of that, if they fail more than 3 times, they would stop the program immediately and then lose funding and therefore make it even harder for NASA. So a guy with unlimited resources like Elon Musk is really the only one who's going to get he's the only one who's going to force us to have a better space program for things like NASA. NASA right now sucks. They don't even have their own space program right now. They just started up their lowest latest space program to go back to the moon.
Well, no, Artemis has been around
50 years. 50
yeah, but Artemis has been around for a while. But the shuttles have only been gone for 10 years or so. Maybe 10, maybe 15 at this point. I don't know, 10 years, I think. I'd have to go look to be sure, but it wasn't that because we had made deals. I mean, we had the space station in space. We made deals with the Russians to take us up, which was a good thing. It showed good, let's all play together and go conquer space together instead of trying to kill each other. Let's play nice and stuff like that. I mean, there was reasons for some of that stuff, but I said this I had said this before I started hosting the Wake Up USA, but it was the first time I had any real place to say it at. I used to preach to every guest that came on. You want to see the world change, privatize the space industry. And I said, just privatize it. I said, I used to watch these movies that used to talk about airplanes could never make it because ordinary billionaires or millionaires, sorry, not billionaires, couldn't afford to build big groups of planes like that. Well, we all know that's a crock of shit, don't we? How many planes are flying around in the sky right now? Thousands, tens of thousands.
What is the largest plane ever built? This is Bruce Goose, built by a billionaire.
Yeah. So it flew barely, but it flew right off the water. I forgot how high they said it was, but it went real high.
12 feet, I think. 12
but
feet.
It just flew along. Ooh, it showed it could do it. They had parts of that thing made out of balsa wood. You couldn't have paid me money to get that damn thing. Balsa wood. I don't know if y'all know what balsa wood is. If you're a guy, you probably know what balsa wood is. If you're a girl, I don't know. Maybe
hobby
not.
wood. It's hobby wood.
It is very light and very fragile.
It floats.
It doesn't take much to break. Let's just put it
balsa
like that.
wood floats on water.
What do you mean? Anyway, so we got all of this stuff that's all churning around on the planet inside of here, things moving around. Leave Pluto alone, people. We all love Pluto, but just leave it alone. It's what it is, because you'll never get everybody to agree on it, especially in the way the world is today. Just because of your political views, somebody will vote against it, even if they think you're right. So you might as well just give that up. just some friendly advice, my friend. Just a friendly observation, from what I do for a living. But these days, man, I mean, you just got to take it for what it is. But anyway, getting back to 3I Atlas. Oh, wait. You know what? No, not yet. We can't go there. Yeah, hold on. We still weren't finished with this yet. Okay, what most planets have their names derived from which mythology? Greek, Roman, or Celtic? Okay, this is tricky, people. I knew which one it was, but at first I wasn't sure. I had to think about it. It's like,
Roman.
See, German. What are you talking about, German, man?
Roman.
Roman. I think
Jupiter is the chief god of the Roman mythos, which was Zeus in the Greek mythos.
See, that's how you had to work it out. Because the Greeks and the Romans had identical god setups, but with different names. Hey, I didn't make the rules. They did. Yeah. I always thought it was funny because, when you look at what they did and what they were, you're kind of like, oh, okay, well, that's cool. So, right, people, 5 for 5 now.
Our planets are, Roman mythos. Our days of the week are a combination of mythos. We got North mythos and Wednesday and Thursday, Odin's Day and Thor's Day. You got planetary stuff. Sunday is the sun, and Monday is the moon, and Saturday is Saturn. So it's a mix. It's a mix of stuff.
Anyway, Jupiter's famous Great Red Spot is really a hyperspace gate, a fire, or a storm. All right, people, this should be easy. I mean, come on, this should be an easy one. I'm moving on to the next one, but that should be easy.
That's an easy one. And it's allegedly disappearing.
Yes. Well, it's disappearing and Saturn's ring's disappearing. It's getting weird out in the
the last time that the Great Red Spot on Jupiter disappeared was in a movie, and then it turned into a sun, and it almost killed Roy Scheider.
Yes. It's called 2010. Or 2001, depending on how you want to look at it, but it's the same stuff.
No, that's 2010, the year we made contact.
Yeah. Which planet's surface is the hottest? Which planet's surface is the hottest? Mercury? Venus?
Mercury.
Jupiter? Which one?
Mercury.
Oh, stick with your first one. Stick with your first one.
Oh, Venus.
Venus, yeah. And I almost got it wrong too, because I was just going to click Mercury, and I'm like, there's something tricky about this question, because Mercury is basically kissing the sun's ass.
Yeah, it's right on
it. But Venus has a massive global warming problem, so it ended up being hot.
Well, it's got greenhouse gases that accumulate and keep the heat in at the same time that it also has high pressure, which also creates heat.
Oh, is Leah still around? Leah, if you're here, close your eyes because I can't see.
No, I think she's off.
Okay, in 2006, Pluto was demoted from a planet to a what? A rogue planet, a dwarf planet,
Here.
or an exoplanet? Which one was it?
Okay, can you repeat that?
It says your buddy Pluto was demoted in 2006 from a planet to a rogue planet, a dwarf planet, or an exoplanet.
Exoplanet.
Nope.
Exoplanet
it was
means out of our solar system.
a dwarf planet.
We spoke about this earlier.
So it is a dwarf planet. Yeah. Exoplanet means found outside of our solar system.
Yes.
Rogue planet just means a planet that's not in a solar system. It's just hollow astral space.
It's not revolving around a sun. Yes.
Yeah. And then the dwarf planet, of course, is Pluto. And so there's
about 5 others.
Yeah, there's 5 others besides that. All of them are very interesting, too, by the way. Okay.
It was a rogue planet or a dwarf planet?
What? Pluto's a dwarf planet.
Pluto's a dwarf planet.
It's a dwarf planet, yeah. So technically it still is a planet. I guess it's just a dwarf. Okay, in myths, Mars' father was Jupiter, and Jupiter's father was Saturn. But who was Saturn's father? Ooh, dun dun dun.
Who was Saturn's father?
Dun, 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 dun. This is. I'm gonna give y'all all a hint. It was one of the names that I was laughing my ass off every time I say it.
Uranus?
See, yep, that's what it is. It's Mercury, Uranus, or Neptune. And of course, it's B. So the mighty Jupiter's. I'm just gonna leave this alone. So Saturn's father was okay. Just move along. La, da, 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 just move along. Okay, where is the dwarf planet Ceres at? Okay,
Ceres.
Here we go. Between Neptune and Pluto, between Mercury and the Sun, or listen to this closely, people, inside the asteroid belt.
Ceres.
I said earlier that
it's a dwarf planet. So
I said earlier that it was an asteroid that was, promoted up. So
yeah,
honestly, asteroid belt.
That's where it lives, in the asteroid belt. Dun, 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 dun. So let's see what our score is. Drum roll. Your score is perfect, 10 out of 10. You know your planets. Of course we do.
You're funny.
It's hey, people should know this stuff. This is everyday conversation stuff. You should know the solar system you live in is important.
So what is there to say? What is there to say about, or is this too taboo, about the Saturn worshipping cults? What is there to say about all that?
There's you know what? There's probably a cult now for every planet that's out there. I would bet you there is.
I wouldn't be surprised. And for the sun, and probably some of the moons. Wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, people are weird.
I know there was what was it, the Europa group or the Io group, whichever one had the water planet. There's a group out there that thinks they're going there. Somehow or another, they're going there.
Like that. Those
you can't breathe there, right, people?
Huh?
I'm just thinking you can't breathe there. I mean,
I
don't think the atmosphere is oxygen.
It's like those poor fools that believe, I forget the name of it, but when the Hale-Bopp comet came by, they all committed suicide. They're all wearing some kind of Nike sneakers. Heaven's Gate.
Ernest, that's a good point. Cults make culture. That's actually a good point. Nothing I can talk about here, but on Friday night, that's a good thing, or Saturday night for that matter. So anyway, getting back to the great thing that's supposed to come kill us all or take over our planet, or laser guns are supposed to point out of it. So anyway, it's not coming to Earth. Last we checked, it's going to go really close to Mars, and then it's going to cruise back around, and we're going to get a good shot at it when it cruises around. Now, a bunch of people want to send something out there to go say hi to it. I know,
like
China's talking about it. We want to send a probe or something. China's talking about it. We're talking about it. Even India's talking about it. They don't know. I mean, because it's getting to it's going to be tough. So they wanted to send something after Oumuamua, but it's moving so fast and it's got such a big head start. It'll take a while for anything we could get to catch up. It's traveling at 134,000 miles an hour. I'd have to go look up. Isn't Voyager the fastest thing we have? 64,000 miles an hour or something?
Yeah, I think so.
It's
they better hurry up.
But so now in this one, they're thinking though there might be a way to intercept it and get up close to it. But when it comes around this time, we're going to get a much better look at it. So we'll see what happens. But I keep telling people, you know, I was talking to someone about the new exoplanet they found that's Earth, just twice the size of Earth. So it'd be a 2G environment. So it'd all be a little bit stronger and stuff too. But it would be
maybe a little bit shorter.
Maybe it could be shorter. It it depends. Maybe the planet spun faster or something. Who knows? It's what's that, Jimmy? No, well, no, that's why the grays are all like, because they probably come from a low G planet, probably something like Mars. Yeah, that's probably just cartilage. There's probably not even bones in there. Yeah, well, when they come from, they don't need power to go up and down stairs. They just push or pull. That's why they have them long, linky legs and arms. Just an observation, my friend. Nothing more than that. But anyway, getting back to the comments. So this thing's cruising along. It's pulsing regularly. It's sending signals and pulses at the same time.
Colors.
So all of this is in tandem with itself. It's not like it's one doing it, another thing's doing it. It's all working at the same thing, which is just blowing NASA's brains out. Then we have these two signals now. So we have the signal that came from the first one that we don't want to talk about. We did in the beginning. It was all over the place. And then, oops, it was gone.
Yeah.
So then the Harvard physicists said, no, there's definitely some kind of signal came off of the second one. But in both cases, all the scientists that have said anything about it said they think we intercepted it. In other words, meaning it was not meant for us. But because something was beaming to something else and it passed past us, we intercepted it with one of our satellites. So we picked up a message that I know in the first one, NASA had brought in people from around the planet that specialized in decoding, and it was everywhere, and then it was nowhere. So for this next one, they were talking about these big names that had been brought in to try to decipher this signal, and then now they don't want to talk about it. They Ernest, give me the pipe, man. Put the pipe down. Put it down, man. Just put it down. It's what's that, Randy Lee? Randomly. I'm sorry. Hey, I thought it was Brandon Lee at first. I'd be glad I said it the other way. Well, yeah, achieving light speed in the solar system seems a bit dangerous. Maybe
there's so, I mean, they call it space, but and there's not a lot of stuff out there really, but
there is.
The outer atmosphere of our planet is littered with garbage. So, I mean, just think about how much little tiny things are floating around up there that they're invisible. Basically, you can't see them. Micro asteroids, micro black holes that could like rip the whole side of your ship off. I mean,
I'm just messing with you, man. It's there is a lot, all the junk that's out there. I remember when I was a kid, if you seen a satellite go across the sky, it was like a rare event. I can go sit in my backyard right now, and I'll probably see 11 or 12, maybe even 14 satellites go by tonight. Not including this, since there's 3 air bases, as well as a NASA facility, not even maybe 10 miles away, 8 miles away. There's a CB base and an Air Force base, and a little bit further down, there's a Navy base. So
yeah, but you're also out in the sticks on the Gulf Coast on a clear night.
I mean, in between everything.
Yeah.
Well, it used to be a lot darker here, but now
New York, DC, you guys aren't. There's no chance in hell of seeing, even on a clear nights, in the middle of New York City, you're never going to see a satellite.
What's
too much light pollution?
New York sucks. Just face it, y'all. Y'all going to be communists soon anyway, so we're not.
Now you go to Boulder, Colorado, and go stand in the middle of downtown Boulder. You probably will see plenty of them.
Well, I don't know, because Colorado is one of the states that went to the whatchamacallit lights. They blind you. So a lot of states are now going to the purple LEDs. I call them purple.
They're not purple. What's going on? No, they're not. It's been stated so many times that these are defective, Chinese-made, mass-produced, mass-ordered from American city governments.
Not these lights are designed for this to keep insects down, so they don't go around the light. They're actually made that way for that reason. You know, in the old days they used to have yellow. So
Yeah.
a couple things,
They're-
people, real
I
quick.
see.
So in the old days they used to use yellow bulbs for this. If you ever
Well,
come down
there's
to New
actually
Orleans,
there's actually 3 kinds of bulbs: metal halide, mercury halide, and sodium. And they all did glow different colors. One was green. I mean, sorry, one green. One was kind of yellowish. One was kind of orangish, and one was kind of bluish.
yeah, depending on the way your eyes see colors, it can vary. So it's, but it doesn't really matter because the bugs are attracted to all of them.
Even the
But
purple ones?
no, the purple light is different. They're not
Well, that's an
attracted.
LED. It's a special
And
frequency. that you see it.
if you take a yellow bulb, a solid yellow bulb, they're not attracted to that either. It can't be like, see, when you get into incandescence, it's like a passive color. It is like a warmth, like we like cool white and warmth, and that's like a yellowish, creamyish colored white. And then there's business white, which is kind of a brighter white. Anyway, but all of those still attract bugs because of the brightness of the light. But the purple light is a much softer light, even though it brightens up and lights up an area. It's not hard on your eyes. They're using a lot of interstates around here because it's easy on the eyes, but you can still see really well. So it makes the trip a little bit more comfortable. You notice I don't know if you remember this when you were a kid, Leah. So when you were a kid and you were driving down a highway and there was there's lights in the highway and it would hit your window, they would make like a beam that come down that would follow the car. It wasn't an actual beam, it was just the piece of the light that you caught. All of them are like that. It's like connected to your car. Now we don't have lights that do that anymore. It's the way they light up. It's a difference. So if you're driving along and you're getting ready to catch up to a light, it's almost like a piece of the light reaches out this way in a beam and touches the car. And as you go, that beam does like this until you go by it. It's just a reflection.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
So, but the new lights, not even the new lights, even the older lights quit doing it.
There's no glare, there's no rain glare, no window glare, no starlight effect.
Yeah, between the changing of the windshields and the changing of the lights, it doesn't do anymore. Now we got LEDs. Probably LEDs, especially car lights, are super bright. So you'll even see these. Some states they outlawed these blue and purple lights. In some states you can use them, some states you can't. So you got to be careful, people, when you're driving around. Because some states they are banned in. They don't want them. They said they're a distraction for the other drivers. But when I was a kid, when you looked up in the rearview mirror, it was a yellowish color all behind you. And then it became a whitish color. Now it's like a sea of really bright white with some really like bluish and other colors mixed into it. It's kind of strange looking. Now we got Cruising the Coast coming up next week, and so we're gonna have shit lit up from one end of town to the other end.
What's Cruising the Coast?
Cruising the Coast, they do every year, and a bunch of people come up here, a couple of ton of people with all these old cars completely redone, and they just drive up and down the coast, and they have parties and they bands, and the Indians come down, all kind of shit. And since there's one,
like Native Americans or like Indians from India.
So there's like 8 towns along the route of Cruising the Coast. All of them put on some kind of extravaganza for Native American Indians. They do this big powwow down here, but they said this is going to be the last year they do it. But they come down and have a big powwow from different tribes come down, they all meet, and you got the coast cruises all over. There's people all over the place. And you'll just see people. It's like a parade, man. They just put your chairs out along the street, go out there on the weekend or even on a weekday afternoon and just watch the people drive up and down. The cops allow them to burn out and stuff as long as, as long as they're not being stupid or reckless, they can get a little crazy. I mean, the cars are here to have fun, and they let them have a little fun. Matter of fact, sometimes they set up a roadblock right here across the street from my house on the highway. And last 2 years, they'll pull them over. They're just looking to see if you're drunk, because if you are, you're going to jail. But that's all they're really looking for. So you'll hear the cops. They'll be talking to the guy. Of course, man, because where I'm at, it's like standing with them. And all of a sudden, he says, "Yeah, hit it." You just hear the guy light him up, big puffs of smoke come. Cars just cruising up the bridge. One of the funniest things I ever seen when I first bought this house, the very first winter we were here, it iced over. We had an ice winter, and they had the bridge closed. And it was so funny watching these cops try to drive up this slope to this bridge. This shit was like comedian gold. They'd get halfway up, slide sideways, smash into the railing and stuff. I was laughing my ass off. I was out there watching them with my phone videotape. Matter of fact, if Facebook hasn't taken them down, they're still up there. It was a crazy winter, and that's what'll happen, people. If we get a giant asteroid here, we'll have a nuclear winter. And shit, where poor Leah lives, it'll be an ice cube. Should be worse for Jay. No, it'll be worse for Leah. Jay will get it bad, but Leah's right there by the
I
Great
won't
Lake.
care. If
You,
this
what?
climate in the Midwest gets worse,
It'll be like 100 below and shit.
Oh yeah, that would suck.
That
would suck.
You'd have to be so wrapped up with stuff.
I already
Well, maybe
girl, I already don't belong in this climate.
Just because, you know what?
And if it's where I'm at, or does it seem like the sun is
Max,
you're breaking up really bad.
Your Max head,
Yeah,
Max
you're
head.
breaking up really bad.
I don't know what that was about. Sounds like somebody was sticking your finger in an electric socket or something. Look at that face. What is that face about?
There you go. Now you're not frozen. Oh,
so but we only got 6 minutes.
Can you hear
guys.
me?
Now we can. Yeah, you froze up for a
Can you
minute
hear
there.
me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we got you.
Can you tell me why the sun? So I actually did some research on this, but like, do you know why the sun has been seeming? No, can you hear me?
No, I didn't hear what you said. No,
Yeah,
go
okay,
ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
Go.
Oh, well, okay. The sun has just been seeming a lot brighter. Like it's hotter, but it's also like blindingly bright out. And I learned that the sun has like an 11.
Apparently, it's got 11 probing on Leah. I think it's what it's got.
Yeah, she got beamed up again.
And Leah, if you listen, there's a couple things that could cause that. One, if the air's gotten cleaner where you live, the sun will seem brighter and hotter.
Yes.
But for us, it's been cool. We've
But
actually.
the sun also, I think, always seems brighter in fall and winter because there's less. I mean, okay, some people have fire to keep warm, but there's less rain clouds, so you have clearer nights most of the time.
Even that. There's something about the cold air. So the crisp air, I don't know what it is, but like down here, once it gets cold,
the air is denser. It could focus the light and make it more.
Yeah, you see
powerful.
the skies better. You see darker color. The sky. You see more stars. It seems to just works better, I guess. But only when it's cold. We're talking like 40 degrees and below. After that, because we still have a lot of humidity down here, so
yeah.
It's and we still got to deal. Even in the wintertime, we still have humidity. Maybe not 80 and 90%, but we still get a good bit of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was in Savannah, Georgia for 13 years. You could walk around comfortably in the evening time in shorts and flip-flops through December. Now, come January, you would freeze your little patootie off, but up through like December, it was, unseasonably warm for someone who's used to being, snowed in on December.
Harold, we'll do part 2 next week. We got a guest, but we'll probably move them and we'll do it. No, because there's still a bunch of stuff we got to say, and we've only got like 4 minutes because we'll get into Michelle's time after that. It's reluctant. No, me, I'd go to Mars tomorrow. At least, no. Right now, on Mars, you'll have to wear a full suit.
Yes, but if Jim Kirk showed up in the Enterprise and said, "Do you want to go to Mars?" I would definitely take him up on it.
But. So if and Elon's in on this too. So one of the things they said they want to do, crazy people want to cheat and drop some nukes on the ice caps. No, you're contaminating all that water. What is wrong with you? We need water on a damn planet.
Yes.
Let's not contaminate it.
Experiment on some other planet's water if you want to do something like that.
There are other ways to do this. So what they're talking about doing is they're gonna be like train sized, I guess, like with giant loaders on the front. They're going to scoop up dirt and they're going to drop it into this incinerator. And they're just going to drive along and do that. And they're going to have like a conveyor belt incinerator. And it's just going to go along and be incinerated and pump this heavy gas into the atmosphere. So what it'll do is first thing it'll thicken the atmosphere and lower the pressure. So we can probably stop having to wear suits and start wearing just oxygen gear. Depending on pollutants. Oh yeah, you have to wear oxygen until there's plankton on the planet or something equivalent to it. Which I know we're working on all that stuff. I know there's several plants right now. They say As long as they got water, they could grow in abundance and won't even need an oxygen plant. That the plants would be the oxygen plant. And I'm all for that, but after watching Expanse, you need a backup system, not just the plants. Because what happens if something happens and it kills all your plants? You need a backup oxygen system.
You need several redundant systems probably
like
for
they
everything.
Like they use on submarines.
Yeah.
Actually, Jimmy, to be totally honest with you, the only reason a submarine has to surface today is to feed the crew and to let them see some light so they don't go insane.
Mm-hmm.
They've actually got restrictions how long, even in wartime conditions, on how long they can stay underwater.
90 days is about max.
Oh no, they'll go longer than that, but
they can. But
I know
most missions they go 90 days.
Months. And no, they'll push a crew. So what they like to do is if you're a nuclear sub, not powered sub, but nuclear launch sub, they'll run them subs sometimes crews 6 months at a time because they want to see what you can take. Now, once they get a complete veteran crew, they go back to whatever their routine is. Well, in a wartime situation, you don't know how long that sub's going to be underwater for before it gets a chance to come up and launch. With the advent of drones nowadays, if you can fill the sky with drones, it might make it harder for a sub to get a launch off. It's not exactly the easiest thing to launch an intercontinental ballistic missile.
Yeah, because they have to come up to about within 65 feet of the surface in order to launch.
Now, a Tomahawk tipped a nuclear missile, that's a whole different ball game. They can launch them bitches like they're nothing. We watched while Trump had dinner with Xi Jinping. That one submarine launched 99 missiles, just one after another, just decimated targets. Diddly. So I didn't know this, and the Russians actually are the ones that posted this. The Tomahawk cruise missile is considered the most accurate, most deadly missile there has. That's not a non-nuclear weapon.
And it can be vertically launched, horizontally launched from a torpedo tube, and they have box magazines on some of the ships so they can shoot.
Oh, they can even be dropped. I mean, they can. Don't forget they can be dropped
on a ship or a plane. Yeah.
What do you mean, like a fighter, Jeffrey? No, I don't think you can put a Tomahawk
bomber
on a fighter.
It have to be a bomber. It's a very, very large weapon.
Yeah, it's it's you could probably strap one underneath under a A7 Corsair 2 or something. Just one. Maybe. Right underneath its where it's got that giant intake. Maybe.
Yeah.
Well, you'd have to drop it because you couldn't just let it take off and burn up the bottom of the jet as it went by. And all that flame would get sucked into the intake. Now, screw that. Doesn't sound like the way I want to go.
Yeah, in that case, the jet would have to peel off and drop it so it would not come near its intake.
Well, no, we got these missiles now, which stuff is really interesting to me now. So we can be cruising along. So none of this is classified. I've seen all this in different places. Anyway,
we are into Michelle's time, though.
Yes, real quick, people. We've got these weapons now. Okay. So here we got F-22 cruising, just almost Mach 2. Woo! And we say, okay, now this thing can track targets well away that no one can see but them. In other words, people being targeted, they have no idea that they've been just lit up. And their radar systems are supposed to pick this up, but they don't. So they don't know they're in trouble until they get the first blip of the missile. And a lot of times,
at that point, it's too late.
Yeah, a lot of times what a pilot will do is a 2-2. They'll do Fox 1, Fox 2. And that way, if for some reason the guy gets lucky and he thinks he's evading that other missile, he don't even know the other one's there yet because it's usually about 40 seconds behind, maybe a minute behind, and here it comes. So you're banking to get away, and here comes the other one. Like, you're dead. No, we still use Sidewinder. We use all that stuff. Oh, yeah, it's just everything's more advanced now. Everything can see. Think about it, people. We have self-driving taxi cabs. What do you think we have for weapons?
Almost all of them are fire and forget. A good deal of the Navy weapons, some of them are still fly-by-wire, which means there's an actual wire trailing behind the missile. And if the wire breaks, then the missile is usually pre-programmed to go on a certain flight pattern. Search left, search low, search high, search, that way.
So I just seen a video on a Navy for another project they did that they made way too advanced, and then they dumbed it down. One of their hover boats, they made this thing was super badass, And it was so advanced they decided it was just too much and wasn't needed, so they dumbed it down. Which is the same thing we talked about that they did with the X-47. Well, no, Jeff. Okay. Yeah, no, I understand all that. So Jeff and I have talked about this. We finally straightened it out about 3 months back or so. There's an A-47 and an X-47. One's a drone, one's a fighter. Yes, it was really irritating that they used the same number. Okay. It was irritating that they used the same number.
Well, Trump talked about that the other night. He said that it was Boeing wanted to do it because of his presidency. I don't think so, but
yeah, I think because they already had it before he was president. But
yeah, I know.
Anyway, I guess any president was going to be 47. You could have said that too. That worked out pretty good for them. But no, there's a lot of weapons out there. Just, we'll do a show, not on this show, but we'll do a show. Maybe we'll do it on one of the chats. We'll do a weapons week. I'm not talking about like guns. I'm talking about weapons. And we'll go through some of the arsenals around the world, let you know what kind of shit you're really into.
Yeah, there's some scary, crazy shit out there.
Yes, there is. But anyway, we got to go. Michelle's probably listening, going, "I'm going to kick both them in the balls,
kick our ass."
Yeah. So anyway, guys, I appreciate. No, we'll finish up because there's a lot of stuff we didn't get to. We didn't really get a chance to get into the signals, which is something we really need to talk about. And there's a few other things besides that I want to chat about when it comes to these two, because we didn't get to talk about SETI signals. Which is what triggered this whole show, because they came out about their mysterious 77 thing and said something that was really close or same as the signal that NASA picked up. And then they had another signal.
Yeah, it's the mystery signal from 1973. They think it was in response to the initial SETI broadcast that was done by Carl Sagan and Drake.
I don't know, but whatever it was, so the WOW signal, but I don't even understand that, because the WOW signal was quite a long time into the SETI program. It wasn't like it happened overnight or something.
SETI started in the 60s, I believe.
I still run SETI. In case you didn't know this, unless they change the rules, they recruit people like us with a lot of computer power so they can run SETI in the background. So I do two things. I had got my hands on some BTC mining, and since I'm running 36 core computers, I hooked them in a tandem so I can, hey, you can make a coin way faster with 36 cores than you can with one. And then when you're talking 14 of them, that's a lot of computing power. That's more power than the freaking Pentagon's got today. It's except in their supercomputer. Let's clarify. But anyway, we got to go. Y'all be good. We'll talk to y'all Friday night. Quite a lot of stuff to talk about. This stuff we actually, Gene, we're actually gonna have a station meeting on Stanton stuff. Yes. Yeah, I've been getting a lot of feedback from shows around the network. Well, we're very, how can I say this? We're a very familiar group. How's that? So anyway, enough about that tonight. I will talk to y'all in a couple of days. Y'all have some fun. Enjoy your day. The weather down here is beautiful, so go outside and enjoy it. I mean, I hear it's pretty beautiful around the country right now, so go out and enjoy it. I know it's the fall for a lot of y'all, and the air is just starting to get a little crisp out there, so get out and enjoy that too. And on that note, I want to thank everyone for tuning in to United Public Radio, UFO Paranormal Radio, 107.7, 105.3, and UFO Undercover. Jay and I say good night.
See you later.